Hello everyone, and we're back for another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals.
Rawr! This episode is going to be so exciting because we'll be featuring the LEGO compatible custom Walking with Dinosaurs Giganotosaurus. But first of all, I'd like to thank youtube.com audio library for this awesome background music. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe, and also hit that notification button. Just click on the icons below. Thanks everyone! The winners of the Guess This PC contest will be announced at the end of the video, but first, here's how to join. Just click on the Extinct Bricks logo and then click on the community link to see all my posts. But before we proceed with the video per se, here's a special shout out to all the Giganotosaurus fans out there. Ajit Nayar, Beth Zamora, Jurassic King, Oh My Liam, Carmen Milan, Gregaudal, Kevin Jasau, Dejeka09, who even counted the number of times he actually requested for this dinosaur, the Giganotosaurus. Anyways, we do have a short clip from Sam Neill here, revealing a Giganotosaurus for Jurassic World Dominion.
Where we had these enormous, life-size dinosaurs to deal with. We had, for instance, I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to tell you this, but we had a dinosaur called a giganotosaurus, which I'm not an expert in dinosaurs. I suppose I should be, but apparently that's the biggest dinosaur that's ever been discovered.
And that was one great news so far, but for now, let's continue on with the making of Giganotosaurus. Here's the base figure that I used for the Giganotosaurus. Note that I have actually extended the body, the neck, and also the tail of the Giganotosaurus. After that was done, I actually originally planned to have a Giganotosaurus very similar to that of the Dinotopia Giganotosaur Stinktooth, which is shown here. However, I think the colors on my figure is not quite reflecting what I really want it to be. So then I scrapped that idea out, and then I made several more changes to the figure. Here I am putting on several more details on the head. I also actually lengthened the head a bit to make it more giganotosaur-like. Then I added several more sculpting details on the brows as well as the side panels of the head. The sculpting details on the Giganotosaurus actually made it a little bit more gnarly and more fierce in my opinion. When I was actually happy with the current sculpt of this figure, I went on to repaint the entire thing with base colors that I want. I initially wanted to have Walking with the Dinosaurs Giganotosaurus, and I found this image on Google wherein the evolution Giganotosaurus was actually remade. The lighter parts of the Giganotosaurus, including the underbelly as well as the lower jaw, were actually a light taupe of tan, and then the upper parts were actually a gradient of lighter browns to the darker browns on the top. Then I added several more details by lining up the stripes on the sides of the Giganotosaurus and then putting on some more details such as coloring the teeth, the insides of the mouth, and so on. For the eyes of the Giganotosaurus, I wanted to have a little bit of contrast between the current skin and also the eyes, so I colored it bright yellow, and then I will be putting on several more details when it is dried, and I use my permanent pen on doing such. So here's the Giganotosaurus so far. I wanted it to be fully dried before I put on several more details to it. And I guess that's it for the making of the Giganotosaurus. Now it is time for us to have assemblix. Of course, you can do it, and let's roll in! Now the Giganotosaurus will have 8 parts to it, and let's start with the head. Now as you can see, the head will just connect with the lower jaw like so. I am very careful not to destroy any of the paint or break any of the details on the head. Now let's attach it to the body. Now let's put on the arms. Those little arms. Very much like that of the T-Rex in my opinion. However, it has 3 fingers. Now let's start putting on the legs. Now we have already placed the left one, and let's add on the right. And to finish it off, let's put on the tail. And that should complete the Giganotosaurus figure. I hope you guys like it! After it has been assembled, of course, it is time for us to have a closer look of the Giganotosaurus. Now, here we have the Giganotosaurus figure. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this, and it is actually based off from the Walking with the Dinosaurs Giganotosaurus. And for this month-end video, Evie is joining me. Say hello, Evie! Hi everyone! So, Evie will be back later for some size comparisons, but for now, let us have a closer look of the Giganotosaurus. Let's first take a look at the head. You can see here that the head is really long and big, very much similar to that of the proportions of the real Giganotosaurus. It'll have several details such as stripes, spots and speckling, and several more painting techniques that I used for the Giganotosaurus. Now let's take a look of the head. You can see that there are a lot of details on the snout of this Giganotosaurus, and then not only that, it also has this gnarly details on the center of the head as well as that of the eyebrows. And since I made the head longer, of course there will be missing teeth for it, so I made some just to fill in the gaps. Of course, I colored the inside of the mouth as well, of course, to complete the makeover. But yeah, the hands is actually from the Sticky Moloch hands, which I altered a bit. Also, the length of the tail is actually made longer, as you can see here. This made the proportions of the Giganotosaurus figure very similar to that of the current Giganotosaurus skeletal reconstructions. Now, taking a look at the articulation, you can see that you can actually twist its head and open its mouth, and also move its arms and legs, and also the tail as well. Now, considering the articulations that is present in this figure, it is very much similar to that of a, let's say, an Indominus Rex or a T-Rex Lego figure. So, with that in mind, you can actually base it or actually put it in several poses, such as destroying poses or even running poses, such as this one, and it can also be attached to a base plate as well if you want to. Overall, I think from the current list of my large theropod customs, I think this has the most intricate painting as of the moment. What do you guys think? And that's it for the closer look. Now it's time for us to have some size comparisons. And of course, I will be bringing out Evie here to have a size comparisons between a normal human and of course a Giganotosaurus. You can see here from the photo that it is actually very much similar in the size of the figure as well as the proportions of the body of the Giganotosaurus. Now let's put the Giganotosaurus at the back so that we can fit in several more comparisons, such as this Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now you can see that the Tyrannosaurus Rex here will be somewhat similar in size with that of the Giganotosaurus, but you can see that it is definitely longer than that of the T-Rex, as well as in terms of the head size and also the length of the tail. This can be better appreciated when you take a look at it that way. Both figures are actually massive on its own, but I think the Giganotosaurus is really an impressive sight to look at, and just having it beside the T-Rex here is really incredible. But now let's put these two figures on the back so that we can have several more figures to compare. Now here is the Indominus Rex that I've actually customed from before. It is based off from the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Indominus Rex. Of course, this Indominus Rex is quite modified as well, with a longer tail, sculpting as well as painting details. Now comparing the heads of the Giganotosaurus and that of the Indominus Rex, you can see that the Giganotosaurus will have a longer head than that of the Indominus Rex, although technically I used the Indominus Rex as the head base of the Giganotosaurus. Alright, so let's move on with the comparisons. You can see that although the tail is pretty much the same with that of the Giganotosaurus, the overall length of the figure is very much different. Here's the tail of the T-Rex compared to that of the Giganotosaurus and the Indominus Rex. Now I do plan to do a reversion of my Rexy, of course, but that will come in later and I won't be telling you when. That'll be up to you to guess when I will be featuring the custom or my own custom of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I'm excited for that, so I hope you are too. Now for the last comparison, let us have the apex predator for Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaurus. Now in real life, the Spinosaurus is actually comparable in length with that of the Giganotosaurus, such as shown here. Also in this figure, you can see that given that the Spinosaurus will have an additional neck to it, it is actually longer than that of the Giganotosaurus. But take a look at the head comparison, the head is actually very much similar in length. And I think I'll stop there with my size comparisons. So this is actually the big four that I have. The biggest sauropods that I have on my collection so far, the T-Rex, the Giganotosaurus, and also the Indominus Rex, as well as the Spinosaurus. Now I can stage epic battles on stop motion of these four figures soon. So watch out for that. Now let's have a roll call. Spinosaurus, Indominus Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and Giganotosaurus. And that's it for my fearsome 4. Do watch the videos on my Spinosaurus and the Indominus Rex on the links that I'll be providing above. So far, this is my most favorite size comparison as of to date. But anyways, the video is about to end, so let's have the last looks on the Giganotosaurus. Now, the Giganotosaurus actually came from the Greek words gigas, notos, and saurus, meaning giant southwind lizard or the giant southern lizard. Now, the Giganotosaurus actually lived in the late Cretaceous period around 98 to 97 million years ago and is within the Carcharodontosauridae family. Its length is about 40 to 43 feet and can reach a height of 20 feet. And here's the Giganotosaurus out of his containment. It's scary, but I know EB, Dr. Wu, and Owen should be able to handle this situation. And that ends the video. I hope you loved it as much as I did. But now it's time for us to announce the Guess This PC contest winners. And we have 10 lucky picks. And here they are. Inga W, Yujeka09, Patrick Studios, Valerie, Kylie Lumong, Minerva Rebolyar, Parker Soros, Mu Junaidi, Adelma Eswara, Sandy Clavi. Congratulations everyone! And now for our top 10 winners.
Top 10.
Pro Rex Blakes,
Top 9.
Esboro Boy,
Top 8.
Anime Z,
Top
Dinosaur
7.
Awesome 344,
Top 6.
Blaze from Whitey,
Top
Navid
5.
Mehmed,
Top 4.
Black Rugops,
Top 3.
Mawel Calano,
Top 2.
Melvin Glorious Permana, and the
Top
GCM.
1.
Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on the next Guess This PC contest. Also, our babies Moira and Asher has their own vlog now, The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and subscribe to their channel as well. Thanks for the support everyone! Please also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and here in YouTube. And as we always would say, let your inner dino break roar!